Hello, my name is Kayla Lindsay, and today I will be doing my proposal speech about a law that I feel that should be altered and should be changed. This law that I've selected is the law of religion in schools. I feel as if schools should allow teachers to talk about religion in class, and I'll tell you why. The law clearly states that teachers are not allowed whatsoever to talk about religion in schools. And this baffles me because in charter and private schools, there are teachers who can speak about religion and Christianity. And I feel as if teachers should be able to teach about Christianity in class. Me being a Christian, I try not to be biased and I try not to be forceful of my religion on anybody else. So I completely understand when someone says that they don't want it to be in the school because you don't want to impose or you don't want to force a religion on anybody, especially if you don't know what religion their parents are at home, and that's a conflict of interest. But I still feel as if children should be able to make that choice on their own, or not to make that choice, but to have the tools and to have the knowledge to make that choice. Because if they're home and their parents are atheists, then they come to school, they don't hear anything about God, and then they go home and they still don't hear anything about God. What about those kids who need to come to school to hear about God? Or what about those kids who are getting abused at home, who need an outlet and they come to school and they get bullied? I feel as if there is God in school, if there's Christianity, if there is a prayer class, a class of relaxation, a class of just prayer, or a class of just researching religion to know for yourself so that you can make that decision, there will be less school shootings. These kids come to school, public schools are the most school shootings because there's bullying, there's lost kids, no guidance, no prayer, no God. I went to a public school and also a private school, so I know the dichotomy of both schools, and I know that private schools are more safe because they allow their teachers to get real connections, real relationships with the students. They can pray, they can go to their teacher and ask them for advice. In public schools, it's strictly homework, turn it in, get out, go to the next grade. And that's a problem, and that's what we need to change because these students need guidance, they need prayer, and they need Jesus. So the attack on public schools are devastating to everyone involved. And I feel as if there was prayer or God in schools, there wouldn't be as much school shootings because the bullying is what puts a child over the top to perform those acts. The bullying, the ridiculing, the name calling, whatsoever it may be. That is mostly what they say, or sometimes it's what the child is going through at home. Maybe they're getting abused. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe their parents aren't there, or maybe their parents are there and they're strict. When a child comes to school, it's an outlet, it's a freedom, it is time away to be your true self and to really learn yourself. So, how are we teaching these kids how to learn themselves if we're not teaching them about real world scenarios, about God, about religion? And I'm not saying that it just has to be Christianity. I'm saying I'm saying involve all religions so they can have their own mind, so they can pick and they will know, okay, well, there's Muslim, there's the religion of Islam, there's Christianity, there's this religion, there's no religion, but at least give them the tools and knowledge to learn, understand, because we go through 12 years of school to not know anything, to not, unless we have those parents, those praying parents, those religious parents, then we know, okay, well, I know that God is here. God is here, and I know that, I have to do it. But if you don't have that at home, there's literally no way for you to know it, because if you go to school, all they're teaching you is x equals b minus squared, something that doesn't even matter. The schools should also stop teaching stuff that doesn't matter and start implementing real life solutions, real world things, especially high school, because high school is when you're stepping stones to becoming an adult. So college is a choice, but K through 12 is mandatory. So K through 12 needs to implement real world scenarios, taxes, tax time. They need to talk about paying bills, rent, utilities, how it is to really live and be an adult, not y equals mx b plus squared. Because let's be real, I can't go to my landlord and say y equals mx plus b squared. She's gonna look at me crazy. I have to pay my bills. I was never taught that. I have to learn it. I have to pay rent. I was never taught how to do that. It was just something that came innately and that I had to learn. So this is why I say that schools should stop with the facade of learn this material to see where you are on your IQ level and start implementing real life solutions, real life problems, real life world information that these children need to know, because there's an attack on kids nowadays, especially growing up in this era, this scary era where everything is glorified. Everything is glorified. Everything wrong is glorified. They're playing Call of Duty. They're shooting up people on Grand Theft Auto. They're doing all the stuff. And then they come to school and it's not any better because there's no outlet of peace. So this is why I feel like a student should be able to have a safe haven at school. And it could be optional. Parents, it could be an optional law. Parents can enroll their student into the class of religion. They can take them out. But it should not be mandatory that religion can't be in class. That's ridiculous. That's bizarre. That's beyond me. I never understood it. I always brought my Bibles to school. Sometimes I would even get in trouble. And I had one teacher in third grade that, was I in third grade, fourth grade, that used to always sneak and talk to me about God. She gave me her Bible, and she always used to sneak and whisper, and we would talk about God, and it just made me want to come to school even more because I had something to look forward to. And I just loved her so much. This also gives teachers the opportunity to build real relationships with their students, and not just relationships on the surface, to where their students are, envying their teachers, or they're not connecting with their teachers, so they're not doing well in the class. When you have a great teacher and a great bond with your teacher, you're going to be more inclined to do better in class, because you're going to look forward to going to class because you love that teacher. So this is why I think that the law of religion in schools should be changed. Thank you, Kayla Lindsay.